Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the first podcast, and it has been a minute, and with all the holidays going on, we just haven't had the chance to do it, but we're glad to be back.
Yes,
and
indeed.
starting the year off, and we are so excited for this beginning of the year, beginning of kicking off everything, and some same old, and then some new stuff that we're going to talk about, and just make sure everybody's aware of everything and everybody's on the same page. So, but it starts back tonight. It starts back tonight. Awana kicks off again after the holidays, and then youth kicks off. And then here's one of the new things is we're having more of a service on Wednesday nights instead of just the Bible study. And it's still going to be a Bible study, still going to have prayer time, but it's going to be more of a service in the sanctuary. And there's going to be a couple songs, and then you'll preach and you'll go over the prayer list and all that stuff. And still the same time frame, still the same everything, just moved from adult 5 to the sanctuary. Right. So can you kind of tell them a little bit about why behind that?
Sure. Yeah. The why is just more, let's treat it as a service, not just something that's maybe an add-on or just kind of placing it there, but trying to get our folks in the choir that's a part of choir, band, orchestra, stuff like this. They're either able to go serve in Awanas, be a part of the things.
Some of them are already doing that.
Yeah,
this
they're
week.
already doing it, so they're able to serve. Also, it gives folks that can't get here on Wednesday to have choir practice at, let's say, 6 or something like that, or play in the band. They can move over to Sunday. Y'all are going to do a Sunday practice.
And the one thing I'm excited about for this, moving this having more of a service on Wednesday, is all these families that we're trying to reach, young families that are dropping off kids and didn't feel like they had a place to go. Well, now there's a place.
Right.
And it's the only word that comes to mind is less intense. You throw a new person in a small Bible study, they can be very overwhelmed very quickly. Yeah. You put them in a sanctuary in that kind of setting, it's a little less overwhelming.
Well, especially in a sanctuary that size. A lot of people can feel lost in the crowd, so to speak, like they can kind of get lost in there. They can kind of drop in and not be seen or not expect to plug in or just kind of just sample it, see what it looks like. But yeah, that's another reason, with even we're seeing in our youth ministry, some of the youth that are actually involved or here, it's either the parents are dropping them off, they're driving themselves, something like that, and the parents are not even connected or apart. So we're just trying to make it where folks, it's not just a drop off.
Right.
They have a place they can come in and let's just say on Sunday evening. Even is what I'm trying to say.
Gotcha.
A Sunday even when they couldn't be here on a 10:30. Either work schedule that they need to sleep in or something's going on. Well, it's an actual service. They're feeling like they're coming to a service where they can worship and be a part of kind of maybe what's going on. And so yeah, it's a couple of reasons, and I think they're going to be good to kind of just reach some of those folks we're trying to reach. Who are we trying to reach? We're trying to reach imperfect people needing to be changed by a perfect Savior. And so we'll stay. Folks that have been in there for a while, we've been in John. We're going to be in John 15 tonight. Yeah, I am the vine. I think it kicks well with where we are as Sunday mornings, talking about discipleship, and Jesus is bringing comfort to his disciples. So the Bible study will stay the same. It's same format. I've talked to some other pastor friends, and a lot of us feel like sometimes we preach our best messages on Wednesday because it is so freeing. You're not trying to.
It's very relaxed.
It's relaxed, A lot of times on Sunday morning, you're real intent. Or I'm intentional about lost people being in the building, and you're heavily evangelistic with the message. Where this is more your teaching. You're letting your hair down. People can ask questions and stuff like that, and almost like a Sunday school setting. It's intimate. Yeah. It's a group, and so I like Wednesday night. So
well, so couple things just to add on is in the next couple of months, as we are able to make this schedule change, I'm actually going to be able to go to the youth. And of course, I'm telling you this like you don't know it.
No,
we've had this discussion, but I'm I'm going to be able to start the youth band and kind of
gonna be
get some
great.
music going. And long range, there's some other things that I'm thinking about long term.
So it's not just we're trying it to reach one group.
Right.
We're reaching multiple groups, multiple generations. So like you're saying, so we'll try to help the folks be able to serve and different things like that. But it also, again, like you're just saying, it frees you up to go and to lead worship with our youth. They need a worship experience. They
Right.
don't just need, a Bible study and all this kind of stuff. They need some worship, and
something
you're going to
that's-
be developing some of those
That's
youth.
what I'm hoping is something that's been on my heart is Miss Tracy's doing a great job with kids choir getting that kicked off, and there's going to be a lot of stuff they're doing this year. It's going to be really good. But when they get out of kids right now that we have nothing musically wise for youth. They go through kids choir and then there's nothing, and so
Right.
we need to build that gap and build a good way to get them involved in I'm speaking just from the music side of things, but in worship ministry in general, to get them out of kids. They're doing a great job in kids. They go in the youth and there's a place for them, and when they're graduating youth, that they're going to stay around town, well, now they can seamlessly go into adult side, and there's a place for them as well. So it bridges the gap between the ages,
Right.
and it builds that train of, you've got a great place kids, now you got a great place youth, and now you got great adults. So that's part of the goal, is to be able to build that just seamless transition from one step to the next.
Right.
And that youth area is the one area we need a little bit of work. So
Absolutely.
so I'm excited to get that going and just be able to be a part of them a little bit. And I still sometimes I feel like I'm young, even though I've got gray hair now. So but I'm excited to be a part of them and just get to love on them and teach them about worship and teach them how to lead in worship. And I'm hoping to develop some musicians as well, guitar players and drummers and things of that nature. And so, and so I'm excited about that as well. So,
Well, that's
it's gonna be
always the
good.
next phase. You're wanting to develop leaders and develop, musicians and just all kind of areas. And so you want them to feel like they are connected to the church, because they are connected to the
Right.
church. They're your next
Well, the
leaders.
biggest lie that has ever been told to youth is you're the church of tomorrow.
No, they're
Well, you're
church
not.
now.
You're the church of now.
Right.
You may be leaders of tomorrow, but you're still leaders now. So that I want to make sure they understand how important they are to this church, but also understand we've got to teach you how to worship, teach you what worship is, teach you some of those things, and not just for youth, but specifically to them. Just trying to teach them what it means to worship the Lord and the heart behind that and all that kind of stuff. So,
Well, they'll be, and that's what folks are going to start seeing more and more. That's what I would call discipleship.
Yeah.
and that's going to be a real emphasis going forward for my ministry here is discipleship, and
Right.
that means so much more than what people think. It's just teaching and training. And so, if you're training those folks how to worship, training them how to play instruments, training them how this is the next transition.
Right.
Maybe we'll quit losing, and I'm not just meaning we as First Baptist Blanchard, but we as a church a whole. I mean, most churches, that's where they lose so many of them. They go off to college or go, they don't think, hey, if I'm in Ruston, I need to connect to a church, in Ruston or,
Yeah, the one age group most churches struggle with is 18 to 22, and that's and we're not in a college town. I'm not expecting all of our students to stay here, but for the ones that do, I want them to have a place that they can minister and still be a part of the church and be a part of how we do things.
Or feel like if they go off to a 4-year college somewhere and come back, just because
They wanna get
Blanchard is a
plugged into,
growing community. It's always going to be a growing community. When they come back home and they're in the oil field or they're in this field or that field, they can I need to go back to my my home church and plug back in.
Yeah, I'm hoping, just a side thought to that is maybe after they leave here and they go to college, they still have the desire to be a part of something, be a part of the church, and not drop off. So and just kind of giving the other side of all that we talked about Wednesday. Here's what Sunday night looks like now. We have moved choir practice to Sunday night, band practice to Sunday night. For the main thing, well, two factors of it. One, I have a lot of people that have told me they're coming now because of this time change, because of work they couldn't on Wednesdays, and which is a huge. I'm so excited for them. I'm so excited to get them a part, and then it also, like we said a while ago, it frees up some volunteer work for Wednesdays as well for Miss Tracy. And again, I'm throwing my wife under the bus. I know she's already jumping. I'm not throwing her under the bus, but lifting her up. But she's already going in there tonight to help. Awesome. And so some of those choir members can do that. They can seamlessly go in there if they so desire, feel led to go that way.
Right.
And so the Sunday night is going to be, for me, it's going to be very crucial for my ministry here. I believe this is, it's going to really elevate our ministry because people are being able to be involved that couldn't before. So on Sunday nights at 5 o'clock we'll have band practice, and from 5 to 5:45. At the same time, kids choir practice is going on from 5 to 5:45, and then at 5:45 to 7 we'll have adult choir practice, and get all that going. So, and we'll kick all that off next Sunday on the 14th, or this coming Sunday rather. And so,
and groups can meet on Wednesday on Sunday nights now.
Yeah, if you're in a D-Life group that's not a part of any other ministry going on that night, you can meet. We will still be having ministry team meetings at 4 on those specific Sundays that they're supposed to be doing that. What's cool is Soupy and Jean Ann are starting a marriage class.
Well, I was going to say, not only is D-Life a discipleship tool, you're going to have something like what you're fixing to transition to, talking about Soupy and Jean Ann. That's another discipleship, yet a Bible study, yet a ministry that we can now do on a Sunday night. I've always been wanting to do a money management class for folks that struggle with finances, how to manage their finances and different things like that. Dave Ramsey has a good one. I'm sure Crown. There's many out there. Enjoy Ministries. I mean, there's several of them that you could pull in and do. But man, I mean, it's not that we're doing away with something. We're going to add something more. Yeah. And so, yes, down the road, will we do a Bible study? Potentially. I mean, Andrew's talked about, wanting to do some Bible studies, then, different things. So, it's not that we're doing away with something. Right. We're just adding different things.
Yeah. The schedule gives us the flexibility to add more. Not that we need to add a lot more to our plate, but it does give us that flexibility to be able to do that. And again, Soupy and Jean Ann, they're starting a marriage class on the 28th. Right. And what they have expressed to me is this is not just something for newlyweds or people about to get married. Now, they want those too. People who are on their way to get married, they want you to be a part too. But it's also for people who've been married for 50 years that may just need a little rejuvenation,
a little enrichment.
And so it's just marriage enrichment. If you've never heard their testimonies and talked to them, they've got a doozy. And to see how the Lord has worked through their marriage is just incredible. So you can still sign up for that, by the way, at fbcblanchard.com or through the Church Center app on registrations, and you can sign up for that class. But so there'll be classes at 4. We'll also have ministry team meetings at 4, and band practice at 5, kids choir practice at 5, adult choir practice at 5:45, and so it's going to be a busy Sunday. But something I've been excited about is this gives a lot of it gives a rock solid schedule for the year. We don't want people calling up wondering what's happening next. Here's the schedule, and you don't have to wonder anymore of what Sunday night's going to look like or what Wednesday. This is it for the foreseeable future. And so we will still be having our, like I said, ministry team meetings on the same day as ministry team meetings. We'll have a business meeting after that, and do that. So. Some things aren't changing, some things are, but we believe this is going to give us the flexibility we need and the ability to reach more people than we have before. And and be able to get more people plugged in.
Absolutely.
So throwing Tony Moffitt on the bus, he's already told me, I'm coming, I'm ready, But he was one of those, he couldn't come on a Wednesday because of work,
Right.
but he can on a Sunday. So there's 2 new people coming. I'm actually marrying them in February, but they're new to our church and new to our Sunday school, to my Sunday school. But they've already said they're jumping in and going to get in the choir. Now, bless her heart, she's scared to death, but she said, I'm coming, I'm just scared. But it's going to be, I'm so excited for just the freshness, the new excitement, and I think it's going to be really good. So
I do too.
That's going to be a good time. But so don't forget, tonight everything kicks off. Awana Youth Adult Bible Study in the Sanctuary at 6. And then January 14th, our Sunday schedule will kick off as well. And so it's going to be a good week. And I'm telling you, no one else may be excited, but I'm excited.
That's good.
I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
No,
and
it's
going to be
definitely going
good.
to flourish our ministries. It's going to enrich every ministry. Especially, the things that we've talked about. I mean, it's going to make them that much better. And then, like you said, it's just fluid. I mean, you know what the schedule's going to be, how it's going to lay out. Yeah. If you're on a ministry team, you know
structure.
You're going to meet once a month, third Sunday, those kind of things. And so, everything's going to be really fluid as far as how it lays out and solid.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so I'm excited for it. It's going to be good.
I am too.
And so just a quick plug, and then we'll wrap up here because we got other stuff to do. We could sit on a podcast all day and just talk, but we got to do our job. So. Again, this Sunday I've already mentioned it, but if you want to be a part of the band or the choir, or if your kid wants to be a part of kids choir, that kicks off this Sunday as well. And we'd love to have you, even if you just want to come sit in, see what we're all about, and then go from there. We'd love to have you and just be a part of a growing ministry. So I'm excited about it. It's going to be a good week. I'm excited for tonight and just see what all the Lord does.
Amen.
It's exciting to be around an exciting church.
That's it. That's right.
You're never bored.
Never bored.
Always got something to do. So, all right, church, we love you. Anything else, Pastor?
That's it.
I love you. We love you. We love you. We're praying for you. And we'll see you tonight. Bye.